Coming up on the Joe Rossano Show. MAGA to Donald Trump. Again, my opinion, he wants the 80s back. That is what make America great again, is make America the 80s again. Are you ready for down to earth reporting and brutal honesty? The Joe Rossano Show is next. Welcome to the Joe Rossano Show. Hi, I am Joe Rossano, where our mission is lay out the issues in a down-to-earth fashion using brutal honesty. So as of right now and forevermore, stop watching fake news, stop tuning in to conspiracy-driven podcasts, and strictly get all of your information going forward right here. Let's rock. MAGA explained. What does MAGA mean? Well, I can't explain what MAGA means because I'm not a mind reader. However, I make very clear that we deal with the facts here on the Joe Rossano Show. We deal with the facts. However, if it is my opinion, I will say that it is my opinion. So this episode is going to be a bit more of an editorial, a whole lot of opinion. But when it is, as usual, I'll say that it is. Now, so far as MAGA is concerned, make America great again. First of all, that's not Donald Trump's. It's Ronald Reagan's. Ronald Reagan said that in 1980 when he was running against Jimmy Carter. Trump starts saying it in 2015, and then, in a most Trump-like fashion, he copyrights it. So no one else can use it. I doubt the late President Reagan is going to come after him. Now, as far as explaining MAGA is concerned, my opinion of what the president believes MAGA is. MAGA, so far as Donald Trump is concerned, does not mean make America white again. He is not looking to take the country back to the 50s. What he wants is, I'll give you an example. Donald Trump called. He wants his 80s back. That is exactly what he wants. He wants to take America back to the 80s. In his mind, at least, my opinion of his mind, he believes that America was last great in the 80s. And it's been all downhill, except, of course, when he's in office. However, in this case, I think, and this is again, I think Donald Trump wants America again to be like it was in the 80s. And I'm going to give you plenty of examples here. Think about the 80s. America was in great shape in the 80s. There, and many of you know this, many of you who were alive at the time, and for the millennials and Gen Z, let me tell you, people didn't hate each other's guts. There you go. Bottom line, the left and the right, quite frankly, weren't all that different. They agreed, believe it or not, I don't want to shock anyone, more than they disagreed. People weren't hyper-focused on politics every single miserable minute of every single miserable day. Again, I've said this in another show. When I was a young man, I had no idea who vice presidents were, who senators were, who Congress people were. I had no idea. You ask your average Gen Z person, they will tell you who the Assistant Secretary of State is. I had no idea. I didn't know who Secretary of State was at the time. I was enjoying myself. I was having fun, partying, staying out late at night, sleeping half the day, and I didn't care who was president because it really didn't matter. Bill Clinton was no different than Bush. Bush was no different than Clinton. I mean, it just wasn't a big deal when I was a younger man. So people just didn't hate each other as much. Now, you had one of the coolest things that's ever happened. Team USA defeated the Soviets in ice hockey in 1980 in Lake Placid. One of the coolest things that's ever happened to the United States, other than, of course, the victory in World War II, etc. But so far as people were concerned, we went to war against Russia. We went to war against the Soviet Union and won. That hockey game was much bigger than just a hockey game. That was a defining moment in American pop culture. It was amazing. Watch the videos, watch the movie Miracle. Can you believe in miracles? Yes, it was the coolest thing ever. A lot of things happened in the 80s that were cool. You got Madonna, Billy Idol, Duran Duran, Motley Crue, Metallica. I mean, these bands who just like came out in the 80s. Michael Jackson blew up. It was a great time. And as I've said again in another telecast, another broadcast, another podcast, you had one radio station. I'm dead serious, like 98 Rock. That was one of the stations I listened to. You could hear Billy Idol. 5 minutes later, you heard Iron Maiden. MTV, when they used to play videos, okay? MTV, you had 120 minutes for the alternative folks, Yo MTV Raps, and Headbangers Ball. And you had a large demographic of white kids watching Yo MTV Raps because people didn't hate each other like they do now. And that's, of course, when MTV actually showed videos. That's for another show. So at the end of the day, President Trump, Donald Trump, wants it to go back to being the 80s. The Berlin Wall came down. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That, folks, was badass. That was amazing. It was a great time in America. And MAGA to Donald Trump, again, my opinion, that's what he wants. He wants the 80s back. That is what make America great again, is make America the 80s again. It was just, in his mind, a great time. He was a young guy. He was building buildings, the whole 9 yards, and the country, the economy was good. We were at peace. It was the Reagan Revolution. It was just a very good time in the country. Every country wanted to be America. Every country wanted to be America. It was amazing. Of course it was. We had the coolest stuff. Think about it. Anybody who lived in the 80s, there were 20 girls at the mall looked just like Madonna. And there were 20 other guys at the mall, me being one of them, who looked just like Duran Duran. And nobody hated each other. You had black people surfing with white people. You had white people break dancing with black people. It was peaceful. Again, no hatred there. Every country that an American president would visit, they would wave American flags. We were considered the good guys. And that's what he wants. That is my honest opinion of what Donald Trump wants. He wants 1984. It's not make America white again. It really isn't. At least you're giving Trump too much credit for that. That's just not how he thinks. At least in my opinion, that's not how he thinks. He doesn't want 1950 again. Nothing went on in 1950 other than maybe Buddy Holly or something along that line. Okay. In the 80s, however, wow. And all I can say is wow. He wants where's the beef back. That's exactly what the man wants. So again, before you cuss somebody out with a MAGA hat on or throw them out of your restaurant, that person just wants the 80s back. And again, I am an independent. Okay. I am not a forever Trumper. I am not a never Trumper. I'm a once in a while Trumper. And in this case, I do see why he wants the 80s back because it was just a wonderful time. America was in great shape. The economy good. Nobody hated each other. Music was phenomenal. It was just a great time. That's why every time you turn around, you hear an 80s song or a movie from back in the 80s because it was just that cool. And I mean, movies from back in the 80s, you had the Brat Pack. You had St. Elmo's Fire. You had The Breakfast Club. You had 16 Candles. You had Back to the Future. I mean, it just didn't get any better, and he wants it back. Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and comment. And I will put your comments in the jar, and I'll read them right here on air. And let me explain exactly what that is. Okay, let me grab the jar here. There we go. And the jar, my initials, JAR. New thing we do here, not my idea. I'm not that smart. I put all your comments in this jar here and I read them out loud and I answer them. And I don't care how outrageous it is, unless, of course, you're threatening to do something to somebody or something like that. But, I get insulted once in a while, my hair and stuff like that, and I'll read it. So let me reach into the jar here. Give me one moment. Get your jar out here, Joe. All right. Let's try this one. Let me see. Got it. This is from Donna in Los Angeles, California. Wow, I'm pretty popular. Check it out. Donna writes, "You talk funny. Where are you from?" I do talk funny. I mean, I do. That's the truth. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say, "Where are you from?" And now when I say Maryland, they're like, "Maryland? Sound like you're from the South." Funny thing about that is people from the South think I'm from Jersey. People from Jersey think I'm from Tennessee. What I think is my parents were a little on the southern side, and I'm from Maryland. So I think my parents' slight accent, I think, just kind of rubbed off. But do I talk funny, Donnie? You're absolutely right. I certainly do. So next, here in the jar, let's see what we got here. Let's take a look. We got Tim from Bangor, Maine. Bangor, Maine. Where's Bangor, Maine? Well, hey, I must be really popular in Maine. So thanks, Tim. Let's see what you wrote here. Do you think Tyler Robinson assassinated Charlie Kirk? Well, I can tell you right now, he's in custody. Some things surrounding the Charlie Kirk assassination are suspicious. They really are. So I'm going to go ahead and reserve judgment until the facts come out. It's JFK all over again. Bottom line, Tim, we don't know. Okay, going to do one more here. So let me grab the jar here. So we have, let's see, Tina from Tampa, Florida. Oh, they know me in Florida too. That's wild. Who are you to judge divorced people? You've been married a long time. Because my wife and I are the only people that are married. That's why. Everybody I know is divorced. And I see what they do. I really do. Episode 2, Divorce Disasters. Check it out on youtube.com/the Joe Rossano Show. And you will see the behavior that I describe it's right on the money. And it went both ways. What I said about the ladies, I said about the fellas. Ladies running around out there with 23-year-old guys. Crazy. And guys out there doing the same thing again until one of these young ladies run their credit card up, until one of these young guys show up at the soccer field screaming at you in front of the other soccer moms. So yeah, believe me, it goes on. I know what divorced people do because everybody I know is divorced. So once again, folks, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and comment, and I will put it right here in this cool jar. Okay, if I can close it, and I'll read them right here on air. And again, some of them were, I don't want to say insulting, but somebody said I talk funny. And somebody said to keep my opinions about divorced people to themselves, but I read it. Hey, I appreciate it. Email me, joe@joerossano.com. It is joe@joerossano.com. Call me some more names. Tell me how bad I am. It doesn't bother me at all. I think it's funny. As long as you're watching. Bangor, Maine. Well, check it out. We got Los Angeles, Bangor, Maine, Tampa, Florida. It's amazing. Wow. I had no idea that, anybody outside a 4-block radius heard of me, but hey, I'll take it. That's amazing. Joe Rossano's rant of the day. Rant of the day. AI videos. I like AI. When I type an email like, hey, I think you're a jerk. I really can't stand that constant breathing in and out. And AI will say, would you like me to retype this? Yes. Hi. At times, I do not appreciate your behavior, your breathing, etc. It's really good for stuff like that. These AI videos are cheap fakes. Google that one. You've heard of that one. Killing me. A month ago, I saw Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees cussing out his team, berating his manager, saying, I'm the best. Everybody else in his team sucks. And I'm looking at that like, oh my God, that's flipping insane. It wasn't Aaron Judge. It was an AI fake video. And I see them all the time. Now, some of them are cool. Some of them are very cool. You have Mr. Rogers and Easy E hanging out. That's pretty neat. And they will show you like what Freddie Mercury looks like nowadays if he were still alive. That's pretty cool. But you never know what is real and what is fake now when you're watching a video. And the comments are what cracks me up the most. Be a complete fake video. Guy saves a dog from a burning building with shorts on and swimming goggles. And everybody's like, you're such a hero. Wow, love, love, love. That's a fake. I mean, how do you not know that? It is a fake. So now we are in a position and a situation in the here and now, folks. We don't know what's real and what isn't. We have no idea. When somebody would shoot a video, let's say in the 80s, and it would be on the news, person had a camcorder that was this big with a VHS tape. Okay, 99.99% of the time it was real footage. Now, no idea. I have seen things that I just can't believe. Now, some of them are really funny. Donald Trump puts out a video of Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries with sombrero and mustaches. I mean, that's funny. But when you see a very serious video and it's fake, you just don't know what to believe. Like at this point, okay, the Charlie Kirk videos, some of them anyway, now you have no idea. Now you have no idea. People have now had the opportunity to view the actual footage and change it to make it look like any way that they want to make it look like now. And people's voices, people's faces. I mean, that type of technology used by the wrong person. You can send a video to your boss and it's you, but it's not you. But your boss is going to think it's you, saying, hey, I hate you. You're the worst boss ever. I wish you didn't work here anymore, but it's not you. That's what can happen. And again, some of the AI stuff I really like. It's, they're going to figure out a way to cure cancer with it, etc. I love that stuff. These videos, on the other hand, please just don't fall for them is the only thing I'm saying. I mean, if something looks completely insane, okay, if you see Hakeem Jeffries with a mustache and a sombrero, especially its cartoon version, he's probably did not grow a mustache and have a sombrero on. Okay, I shouldn't have to tell you that, but there's people out there saying, "Oh, Hakeem Jeffries came out in a sombrero." No, he didn't. It was a fake. These fakes are killing me. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Joe Rossano Show, where we are down to earth and brutally honest. Please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and comment, and I will put it in the jar, and I'll read it right here on air. Once again, God bless you, my dearest friends and fellow Americans. Don't forget to adopt a pet, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for all the latest episodes of The Joe Rossano Show.